Top Facts 360 presents 14 moms you won't believe actually exist. Number 1. Thomas Beatty is the world's first man to become a mother. Born a female, he has undertaken a procedure to become a man, including hormone treatment and surgery procedure, and has been living as a man since then. He and his wife Nancy, 34 years old, both live in Oregon. She had a hysterectomy in early life and couldn't get pregnant, so Thomas took it upon himself to have a baby. The procedure was done through artificial insemination by donor sperm and Thomas's eggs. Number 2. Lena Medina is the youngest mother in history. In 1933, she gave birth to a baby when she was only 5 years old. It was found out Nina had fully mature sexual organs at the age of 5 due to a condition called precocious puberty. She was taken to a doctor because of a rare growth in her abdomen and pain they thought was due to a tumor. Instead of a tumor, doctors discovered she was 7 months pregnant at the time, and no tumor was found. Lena made medical history, and never again has anyone achieved the same. The children's father was never identified. Number 3. Valentina Vassilyeva appears in the Guinness World of Records as the story of history's most astonishing mother. She came from a town named Shoya in Russia and gave birth to 69 children from 27 pregnancies. This occurred in the 18th century. Number 4. Jackie Dallenberg gave birth to her own grandkids in 2008. Jackie was her daughter's surrogate mother after it was found out her daughter could not successfully carry a pregnancy. Jackie became pregnant with her daughter's babies in 2008, carrying triplets. She gave birth to her very own triplet grandbabies. She feels this is not at all weird since it was done for love to her daughter and grandchildren. A mother's love. Number 5. 70-year-old Omkari Panwar wanted to have a male child no matter what. She and her husband, who was 77 years old, both paid the required amount for IVF. This was needed for them to have a male descendant. They had to sell all their belongings, spend their entire savings, and also both took out a credit card loan. The couple had already 5 grandchildren from 2 grown-up daughters but wanted male offspring. They finally got 2 sons. Number 6. Nadia Denise Guterra attracted global attention in January 2009, giving an incredible birth of octuplets, which was the second case in the United States, beating the survival rate for an entire set of octuplets achieved in 1998 by the Chula octuplets. At the time, Nadia was a single mother without employment and already had 6 children, and then added the 8 newborns. Her octuplets were conceived through in vitro fertilization, and this sparked a lot more controversies. Number 7. Elizabeth Ann Buttle gave birth to their first child on May 19, 1956 at 19 years old. Her second child, born on November 29, 1997, when Elizabeth was 60 years old. That was an interval of 41 years and 185 days, remaining the longest intervals between birth in recorded history. Joseph was the second child. His sister Melinda, born when Elizabeth was 19, was old enough to be Joseph's grandmother. Number 8. Sofia Pedro gave birth to her baby on a tree. She was stuck in the middle of a natural disaster when her labor started and was stuck in a tree due to the Mozambique floods. Forced to leave her home, took shelter on a tree with other survivors. Even though floods were rising around her and was surrounded by other people also on the tree, she fighted through pain and fear, pushing forward and having a healthy child. Number 9. Roho Devi Lohan, an Indian mother, waited for more than 40 years to get her first child in November 2008 at the age of 70 years. Her plan is to breastfeed for at least 3 years. One never knows, she might end up doing just that. Number 10. 22-year-old Mindy Tran had strapped her 2-year-old twin daughters to the car's back seat and went to check the lock at her front door. After looking at the door, she turned and realized that her car was rolling down the driveway into live traffic. Her first instinctive reaction was to jump in front of the car and try to stop it. Unfortunately, that did not work, so Tran threw herself on the ground in front of the car to try to slow it down, turning herself into a speed bump, slowing down the pace of the car, enabling her neighbor to get in and completely stop the car. Number 11. Jonah Kristonik from Poland, who was initially pregnant with triplets, lost one of her babies due to premature birth and was told by her doctors to lie in bed, placing her feet above her head, close to an upside-down position. That was recommended by her doctors so the other 2 children could be born. Krstanek lost one of the 3 babies 5 months into the pregnancy. The other 2 babies were born prematurely 32 weeks into her pregnancy. Jonas says the time she spent upside down partially affected her walking, but she now walks well. Number 12. Hwang Yehun. We can all agree that 9 months is long enough to be carrying a baby, but Yehun was pregnant for 60 years, who technically carried a child for more than half a century. The baby did not live long. After reaching partial maturity, a rare thing called lipotidine happened, slowly calcifying the baby into solid stone over the decades. As most die before reaching this far, Hwang Yehun represents a shockingly rare case of this condition and features this incredible story. Number 13. Elizabeth Joyce, a courageous mother, was diagnosed with a malignant tumor in 2010. After undergoing surgery and 4 rounds of chemo, Joyce was declared cancer-free. They defied the odds by becoming pregnant in the summer of 2013. Only 1 month later, Joyce and her husband were told the cancer had returned, leaving the couple with a difficult dilemma: abort the child and begin treatment, or delay treatment to protect their child. Having a child meant everything to Joyce and knew that this might be her only chance. Joyce delivered the baby 3 months early to a healthy baby, but sadly, the cancer had spread too much and Joyce died shortly after. Parenting is really hard. One needs sacrifice, patience, and compromise. We can agree that being a mother is the hardest job in the world, and some people just aren't right for it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.